Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the Global Career Forum, the international online recruiting event organized for the MBA students from top business schools. We have the pleasure to welcome you to today's online session with Swarovski. And we have the pleasure to welcome for this live session our keynote speakers, Magdalena Marzalowska, Communication Professional, Employer Branding, PR, Event and Media Manager, Eva Zgraja, who is the HR Specialist at Swarovski, and Martina Olik, who is a Senior Recruitment Specialist. As this is a live Q&A session, I do invite all participants to ask your questions in the Q&A panel on the top right side, and we'll convey them to the speakers. Magda, Eva, and Martina, warm welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you for the introduction, and welcome everyone.
Perfect. So perhaps to kick off this session, can I kindly ask you, the three of you, to make a presentation of your role today at Swarovski?
Okay, so I can start. My name is Magdalena, and as I can see, I'm not now a PR and communication and event manager because I was working for Swarovski Jewelry before, but now I am a communication professional for global business services here in Poland, in Gdańsk, responsible for communication, for external and internal communication within global business services, as well as within our spokes in Penang, in Malaysia, and San Jose in Costa Rica. Welcome.
It's Eva speaking here. I'm for almost 1 year supporting the recruitment here in Gdańsk in Poland. So I'm mainly focusing on our two departments, finance and IT, but as well I have an overview of HR and customer service. So I would be for sure responding for the recruitment related questions.
And hi, my name is Martina. I've been with Swarovski for the last 1.5 years, and I'm a senior recruiter for our location in Switzerland. So we're located in Männedorf, 20 minutes away from Zurich, and this is the seat of our consumer goods business and finance and administration division.
Excellent, thank you very much. Can I ask you to share a few words on the company itself, the mission of the company, the core business?
Okay, as you probably know, and maybe you visited our internet site, we are a Swarovski Group with annual turnover over 3 billion, with 21,000 employees. We are 3 companies, Swarovski Crystal Business, Swarovski Optic, and Tyrolit. Of course, we are family-owned business, run in the 5th generation, and as my colleague said, with headquarters in Austria and Switzerland. Actually, we are cooperating globally all over the world with lots of boutiques, and not only because we are global business services. I mean, we are talking now about global business services because we are GBS, Swarovski GBS. So we are now a hub in Gdańsk in Poland, and as I said before, we have 2 spokes in Malaysia and in Costa Rica. So mainly as a global business services, we are cooperating in those 3 locations, and a few business service locations all around the world exactly, also within global business service, but not only. As to jewelry business, we collaborate all around the world. But I think there will be lots of questions. I think people know Swarovski as a company. We are waiting for detailed questions. If it will be like that, we are happy to answer that.
Excellent. A question from the audience is, what would you say today that are main challenges for the company, and where do you tend to have MBA profiles?
So I think that MBA profiles we would also have, for example, in our positions in one of the headquarters. So as I said, I'm responsible for Switzerland. So there we, for example, now have we will be soon starting recruiting for our strategy department, which is quite new. So there, for example, I think MBA profiles would come in very useful. We are also recruiting, for example, for our procurement department as well right now. So I think they're also...
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes?
The question was actually not about the current openings, but the people that already are in the company. Where could they, to see just the career prospects, where could they end up in? Where do you have the majority of MBAs currently in the company?
So when it comes to Switzerland, I would say that more maybe in controlling department or in the strategy department, because we already have someone there. But I don't really have much information about the existing. I mean, how many of our current employees have MBAs at the moment?
Okay, thank you. What are the things that you're looking for in the MBA hires? What are perhaps the things that you're looking for today that you didn't some years back?
Okay, so basically when it comes to recruitment in Poland, for sure our center in Gdańsk is developing in some part more to the strategic scope. So we are basically starting recruitment, for example, for currently operations managers. So that's for sure when the MBA experience and MBA background would be a great value for us.
And I think on the side of the headquarters in Switzerland, I think now we are and have been for many years a very global organization, also a matrix organization. So definitely profiles, I mean candidates who have experience or have learned how to work in this kind of setup, that is definitely a skill set that we are looking for.
Great, thank you. Something you mentioned before the question just came in, if you could please elaborate on the strategy department. Is it more like in-house consulting or strategic planning?
So this is because now at Swarovski we are transforming to be a more, I would say, maybe a more global company. So we are changing, and so there are many strategic initiatives. I think several strategic initiatives right now to get us to the next level. So the strategy department now will be taking care of implementation of those strategic projects that have been identified some time ago.
We are also transforming finance and administration department into, as you can see, global business services model, which is really now a very up-to-date model, as I can say. So, and we are in the during the journey. So still there are new positions which are appearing, new which are never been before sometimes. So this is also very interesting for finance and administration and global business services area.
Perfect, thank you. And the strategy roles, that is another question coming in. Where are those strategy roles based?
So the strategy team, the core is being built in Switzerland. So these positions will be based in our Männedorf headquarters.
Excellent, thank you. So there are various positions that you are today advertising, and candidates have access to them on the platform of Global Career Forum to apply for them. Do you want to spend a few moments introducing those positions?
Those located in Poland or the one in Switzerland?
Just basically generally for which departments you are currently most recruiting for. No need to go in specific details, but just the openings that you see the most recruitment is currently happening and that you're looking for MBAs.
Okay. So basically when it comes to the Polish location, our Global Business Center, as I mentioned before, we are focusing 4 main departments. First of them is finance, second one is IT, next coming is customer service, and as well we have HR department. So within those, of course, we are looking for team leaders, we are looking for managers, who are joining we can as well say more strategic projects connected with the global cooperation within the Swarovski. So for sure, those are the roles when we're looking for MBA background. As well, here we have one quite intensively specialized department, which is controlling department, and then for sure would be, for example, one of the examples that we're looking for highly specialized candidates. What's more as well, the purpose of this Q&A session was as well to attract people who are competent when it comes to multi-language skills. So that's for sure as well our requirements and the competencies that we will be more than happy to welcome within our hub.
Thank you. The next question is if you could share with us examples of projects that the new hires would be working on.
Okay, so I mentioned the controlling department, so maybe I could, you know, present some more details when it comes to this area of the business. So basically from here, from Poland, we are partnering, as Magda mentioned before, our finance and administration partners. So for sure that will be new hires scope, or let's call it challenge to partner Swarovski organization with some financial decisions and being a partner and analyze, for example, data, financial statements. So to be one of the projects that I could present. I think Magda has some ideas.
No, I just remember that we are now implementing some maybe not that big one, but projects like ServiceNow, so mainly based on communication and a knowledge base for the whole company all around the world. So we are implementing ServiceNow, as well as we are working on Workday, which is really also a very interesting and with lots of perspectives project connected to not only to HR but also to analytics also. So yeah, but I can't remember now all of the projects, but probably some of them they are not seen outside of the company because we cannot talk about it that much externally.
Excellent, thank you. On average, how long do people stay in the same position, and how does Swarovski promote career evolution?
So when it comes to the career evolution, we of course promote our internal candidates in the development of their career. But I would like to stress, of course, that at Swarovski, the employee is in the driver's seat of their career. So we have so it's also on the part of the employee to know how they would like their career to progress. But we also, of course, have a mentoring program, we have a coaching program. In some of the locations, we support some additional education and trainings for employees. And we, of course, have an annual review of the performance of candidates. So there's a yearly discussion with the team leader, with the direct line manager. And so every year the performance is reviewed, and then the career progression is discussed with every employee. And when it comes to how long people stay in one position, I think it greatly depends, and we cannot say that somebody stays for 1 year in a position. I would say so. We have people who have been at Swarovski for 17 years, for example, and so I think it greatly depends on the employee, because it's not said that if you are in one position you have to move forward within a year. If somebody likes where they are, then they stay in this position, I would say. So it's hard to say how long people stay in one position. It greatly depends on the individual.
Excellent, thank you. What are the behaviors or skills that you would like to see from the participants, or from the people
Okay.
applying to the positions?
So of course we have a few core values that we would like to see when we are interviewing candidates. So for sure one of them is being responsible at our daily job. As well, we are looking for people who are passionate about what they do, who are really interested and motivated to start a career path within the Swarovski. Some as well added value for sure for us would be to be imaginative, a little bit going outside of the box to support our complex processes within the company. And what basically I'm as well looking for while interviewing in Martina for sure would be to find, let's say, vigorous candidates. So we're looking someone for with a great energy and enthusiastic to as well fit within our organization, because we believe we already have those values and we follow them on a daily basis.
And I would like to add to what Eva said, that it's definitely passion. I think we attract a special kind of person. So everyone at Swarovski is, I would say, pretty vigorous and pretty passionate about what they do, and it also connects to the special product that we have, because crystal is at the heart of what we do. So we try to sparkle, as we like to say, in our daily job, because it's not only about what you do, but also how you do it at Swarovski.
Perfect, thank you. Are there specific business schools that you recruit from or that you target?
From my perspective, of course, we have few organizations within Poland, but I'm just not sure how relevant it is for candidates outside of the Poland. Basically, we have few core and main universities that we attract candidates from. For example, north of Poland or the capital of Poland. Of course, we are open and we have more and more foreigners within our organization, but I think there is no university to point directly. I would say it's more about competences and attitude than any specific business school or area of education.
Excellent. And for those that are foreigners, so for the international talent, do you sponsor for visa?
Yeah, of course. If we see the great value and asset for the company, then we support it financially and as well logistically. So here in Poland, we have agency which supports us during the process. So of course it depends on the recruitment results, but we are more than happy to support visas and work permits. As well, we have a relocation package which as well has two services. We support the movement of personal belongings and as well transportation here. And what's more, we support finding a comfortable flat here in Gdańsk.
Excellent, thank you. Could you spend a few moments talking about the company culture and what is the work-life balance like?
I can start, but about work-life balance, I think the HR colleagues, they will tell you probably more. We are now here in Gdańsk, Global Business Service in Gdańsk Hub. We are 350 people now, lots of young people. Also, between 25 and 34 mainly, but also at age of 40 and even 50. But yeah, 24 and 34 is the main core of the company. We are located in a very city center of Gdańsk area of the town. What else about the company culture? Yeah, we have even 5, I think, employer value proposition groups here in the hub. Also one is diversity inclusion one for foreigners. We have 3 floors. We have our own building with parking places for each of the employees. So let's say we are 350, and for each of the employee we have parking place who has a car, of course. So I think company culture is quite nice. I mean, actually, I'm 41 and I joined a really young company. So for me personally, this is really something new, but I feel really good here inside. And what about work-life balance? Eva, can you tell us?
So
my balance is okay.
Yeah, of course. So where it comes to work-life balance, that's for sure the very important topic for us. I would say main of the departments are currently not doing over hours if you are talking about such a detailed case. As well, we are constantly reviewing the workload with our team leaders. So basically, I believe the work-life balance is kept in the very rational level.
And just to add, I think in each of our locations we have always a beautiful office. So I think our office in Gdańsk is also one of the the newest and most modern of our locations. So we're surrounded by beautiful objects as well with Swarovski crystals. So the company culture also, when it comes to values, it ties much into the values that we mentioned before.
But it's also very important that we, as a global business services, we can say that, okay, we have finance department, master data, IT, so the departments which don't have daily contact with products, but we want to implement that also here in Gdańsk. So we have creative workshops, creative rooms. So even people working for finance departments, dealing with invoices, can touch and feel our products just to, you know, feel belonging to a company more. Yeah, so this is also the value which our employees really appreciate.
Perfect, thank you. Just to quickly jump back on the visa sponsorship, you covered the positions for Poland. What about those in Switzerland? Do you sponsor for visa for those as well?
So unfortunately, usually we try to avoid this because the situation in Switzerland right now with the work permit for candidates from outside the EU and for example Norway, it's really tough. So the process is very long, and it has happened in the past that we were not successful in that. So it takes months sometimes. So I would say that we try to avoid that, sponsoring the visas for candidates outside of the EU.
Perfect. Thank you for elaborating that. Next question that we have is, what are the advantages and disadvantages you see to be in a family-run business?
I can't see the disadvantages. Yeah, this is a short decision, how we can say, the short decision path, even because our, let's say, boss, our managing director has, how we can say, the short path, decision making process. So this is really really cool for daily company existing, and we can have decisions very quick. I don't know, I cannot see the disadvantages. We are also visited by members of Swarovski family very often, so this is also very nice experience for our employees. They can see and talk and have a mentoring programs with Swarovski family members, which is really important also as a value.
Mm-hmm. I think as well that the family companies, they have let's say more grounded values, and from my even perspective, starting a job within Swarovski, I was really impressed how the company takes care of the employees. So I the companies, as Magda mentioned, one company take care of the employees. So as Magda mentioned, one of our funds some further if a leader participate. So basically, that the family companies basically care more about the employees within the group.
So even the different members of the family, they manage different part of our company, which is also very important, that they are not mixed. But for example, I don't know, Robert Bukbarek, he's taking care about the jewelry business. Then the other, for example, Nadia Swarovski, she's responsible for corporate branding communication. So different family members, they are responsible for different parts of and units of the Swarovski group.
Perfect, thank you. Another question from the audience that they saw on your website that you have leadership and retail academies. Would you have something similar, perhaps a personalized development plan for your high performers?
Of course, it's speaking here again about Gdańsk and our center in Poland. So basically, Leadership Academy is something ongoing within our organization. So the team leader, of course, cooperating very closely with employees, can mark that someone is a high performer. And of course, we invest and develop the skills, for example, to become a team leader or to be engaged in more strategic projects. So I think that would be our approach to invest in the competencies development.
And as you mentioned before, we also have a coaching program. So this is also one of the ways in a mentoring program and a coaching program, and this is one of the ways that we take care of our rising stars.
Excellent. So for those who are interested to apply, what are the typical steps in the interview recruiting process once they submit in their application?
Okay, so I will as well again respond when it comes to the recruitment in Poland, but I believe the recruitment process is quite standardized and equal for everyone, which is as well a strong point for us to follow every day. When it comes to the interviewing stages, of course, at first we have an initial call, during which we both work on the both sides. So me myself, I try to get to know candidate as much as possible, and as well share a more detailed description of the position and location itself. And then usually, if it's possible, we forward with the face-to-face interview. If not, then we organize the Skype video call just to get to know each other even closer. And that would be basically all the steps. And after that, we follow up with the references. So that's as well important part for us to get to know some more detailed feedback about the previous career of candidates. And as well, of course, if the position is quite technically, if the technical requirements are quite high, then we follow up with some tests. For example, within the finance department, it would be Excel tests. And for team leaders, it would be, for example, some assessment centers with the role playing. So as well, I think we are within the recruitment. We work with some as well interesting tools.
And the recruitment process for Switzerland is pretty similar. First, there is a phone call with the recruiter. Then there can be a phone call, a phone interview with the manager, or maybe already a face-to-face meeting with the manager. Sometimes the interviews, there are two stages of the interviews. Some of them might also include presenting a business case, depending on the position. So, and I also wanted to say that for candidates coming in from abroad to Switzerland, we reimburse the cost of travel for the interview.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same within Poland, and I thought it's maybe important to mention that during the recruitment process, we try to engage as many stakeholders as is possible the stakeholders related to the position. So we give candidates a chance to communicate and get to know information directly from the stakeholders that we work with on a basis.
Perfect. Perhaps a question for the end. What is the hidden gem that people usually do not know about Swarovski?
Hidden fact.
Yeah.
Hidden gems.
A bit difficult question to ask because the brand is well known, and sometimes I hear quite a lot of news from candidates which are really inspiring. So I believe maybe, not to answer your question, but basically myself, I get to know a lot of information from candidate side. Of course, the brand is well known. The Swarovski is taking part in many of charity events. It's as well, we have a lot of stars promoting our brand. So I think a lot of information are just well known and in the reach.
What is also very, very common that people there answering many countries we are coming from, and even our Daniel Swarovski, he was the founder of Swarovski. He was born in Bohemia, so in Czech Republic. So I don't think many people know that, and they are answering that we are from Switzerland, with that we are from Austria. But yes, originally Daniel Swarovski, he was born in Bohemia, in Czech Republic. So, and the other thing I can remember now that sometimes people they think about us like that we are making only jewelry in Swarovski, but we are not making jewelry. We are making lightnings. We are making products to produce roads, glasses, and accessories. We also have a unit which is called Swarovski Professional. So even we have here now in our hub Swarovski Professional Customer Service, and we are not a usual hotline, but people working there, they are working with Jean-Paul Gaultier, they are working with Chanel, with Dior. So this is really, really important for people that they have their direct contact with such a great designer. So and that we Global Business Services here in Gdańsk, we are not selling jewelry, which is also very common, but we are taking about the service for the whole world of Swarovski.
That is perfect. Thank you very much. Perhaps to conclude, very last question, any advice, recommendations for the MBAs who are trying to land a role with Swarovski in this upcoming year?
So I don't know, be optimistic, reach for the stars, please apply with us, and we appreciate all the CVs that we receive, and each candidate is each CV, of course, we take a look at. So I would say yes, just find a position that you think that you would excel in, and just forward your CV through our recruitment tool, Workday, and we will get in touch with you.
And join our Swarovski family, of course.
Excellent. Well, Magda, Eva, Martina, many thanks for taking the time to be with us here today. To the candidates, the recording of the session will be available on the event website within a few hours. Thank you again.
Thank you. And we always say have a sparkling evening or have a sparkling day.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.